What's going on, everybody? Another week and another video here on the channel Infinite Knowledge with Aryan, where we learn a new topic every single week and explore how they work. I'm super excited for today's video because we're going to be doing and exploring the world of telecommunication networks. I'm super excited, so if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if you like today's content, go below and like the video. And let's get this video going. The exchange of information, including internet traffic across great distances. These networks are made up of connecting points that relay signals through a system of wires, cables, satellites, and other infrastructure to help reach their destination. We use our phones for pretty much everything, whether it's just calling or texting or browsing our phones. Well, have you ever wondered how does the sound from your own voice go to your phone and get transmitted all the way across the world to another device so that you can communicate with another person? Well, here's how it works. So the first step in this entire process is obviously making a call from a cell phone. A caller enters a telephone number and begins the call. The telephone begins transmitting radio signals containing information about the call destination. Then, the electromagnetic waves that come out of the phone are transmitted and are brought to a cell tower. And a cell tower is a really large tower that uses the coverage of an area known as a cell. From here, the electromagnetic waves are transmitted into a switching center, which is the next step. These calls, connected via nearby cell towers, are directed to a mobile switching center, which can relay them to the wider telephone network via a main exchange. From here, these go to the relay towers, and this is one of the most important parts of the entire process, and I'm going to tall you why. Tall relay towers receive and retransmit signals in order to establish wireless telecommunications channels between distant telephone exchanges. This is the big step because this is the step before we can transmit these electromagnetic waves and sound waves into space, which brings us to our next step, which is international exchange. An international telephone exchange links national telephone networks to the rest of the PSTN, which is the telephone network. That brings us to our final step, which is communication satellites. A satellite receives radio signals transmitted from a ground-based station and relays them back to Earth to another exchange. Satellites are used infrequently for telephone calls due to the delay on the signals. From here, they are simply transported to where they need to go, and the call starts, and they can simply transmit sound waves back and forth, whether it's from 2 meters away or 10,000 miles away. And this does this in a matter of milliseconds. In the early days of the telephone, phones had to be permanently wired together for the callers to speak to each other. Now, obviously, phones have evolved and we don't use wires and cables anymore. Now, phones are connected to the public switch telephone network, which is called PSTN, which I mentioned just before. During a call, a temporary connection is established between the two telephones through PSTN infrastructure, allowing for the high-speed exchange of sound information. This huge network is made up of the world's local, national, and regional telephone networks, linked with exchanges to allow communications between most telephones. A quick fun fact is that the first ever telecommunication network was created in 1858. The telegraph network was the first to enable long-distance communication. Alrighty everybody, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video and hopefully you learned a little bit about telecommunications networks. Hopefully you go on and do a little bit more research about telecommunication networks, and we're going to be doing a lot of fun and exciting and interesting things coming up on the Communication Technologies series. I'll see you guys in the next